Good afternoon, friends. Important video. Recently, in one of the case, SLP was filed by the Revenue before Honorable Supreme Court against the judgment of Honorable Andhra Pradesh High Court. What happening as on date that credit, GST credit in the hands of buyer, recipient, which is genuine and honest buyer, recipient, purchasing dealer, is being denied on pretext supplier found to be non-existent at his premises where he has taken the registration, or supplier is not complying with the GST law and his registration get cancelled with retrospective date, the date when he has taken the registration, but transaction happened to be, and for example we can understand, let's say you are purchasing sometime in July 18, an investigation initiated against the defaulting supplier in financial year 22-23, and then department comes across that this supplier is not existing, case 1. Second, maybe because of non-compliances on the part of defaulting supplier, his registration get cancelled with retrospective date. So maybe he has taken registration or transition from July 1, 2017 and his registration get cancelled. Department comes and allege to the buyer, to the purchasing dealer, that credit is not available to you because supplier is non-existent at given address, or his registration got cancelled with retrospective date. Since this SLP filed by Revenue got dismissed, so this judgment is very much important. What happened in this particular case? Petitioner is Arhan Ferus and Non-Ferus Solution Private Limited. What happened that GST department has detained and confiscated goods and conveyance in transit on pretext that consignor, the supplier, was not existing at the given address where he has taken the registration. यानी बहुत सिंपल, डिपार्टमेंट ने गुड्स और कन्वेंस को डिटेन किया, कॉन्फिस्केट किया ओनली ऑन वन प्रीटेक्स्ट कि सप्लायर ने जो अपना एड्रेस दिखाया था, he was not existent at the given address. Honorable AP High Court has said the goods and conveyance which was confiscated and detained, it was without giving any opportunity to the purchasing dealer to establish that his purchase was bona fide purchase. For the reason that the goods which was transported was covered by tax invoice and eBay bill. So opportunity was not given to the purchasing dealer consignee that his purchase was bona fide purchase, and his goods and conveyance got confiscated, detained by the department under section 130 of CGST Act. So what is the maximum this purchasing dealer can do? This judgment further continue to say what is at best can be done by purchasing dealer, buyer. He can go to the GSTN portal and check the status of his consignor, who is a supplier of goods. What is his status? Active status on the date when it is being supplied by consignor supplier to the recipient. So वो उस दिन ये चेक कर सकता है कि सप्लायर का स्टेटस क्या है जीएसटी पोर्टल पे. But whether this buyer recipient can really go back and check credential or business activities of the supplier? Can this buyer go and cross-check the registration document of the supplier? Maybe supplier has taken registration by means of fraud. But where is the fault of buyer, purchasing dealer? आज मैं बायर हूं, मैंने गुड्स परचेज किए, मैं एट मोस्ट डॉक्यूमेंट देखूंगा कि टैक्स इनवॉइस की कॉपी है या नहीं है, ईबे बिल जनरेट हुआ या नहीं हुआ, टोल टैक्स की रिसीट देख लूंगा. गुड्स को अगर मैंने रिसीव किया है तो मैं वेगमेंट स्लिप अपने पास रख लूंगा. एट मोस्ट मैं ट्रक का ड्राइवर के साथ फोटो ले लूंगा. और जो मेरा सप्लायर है उसका स्टेटस वो जीएसटी कॉम्प्लायंट है या नहीं है, यही चेक करूंगा. और उस दिन चेक करूंगा जिस दिन मैं सप्लाई ले रहा हूं. बट इज इट पॉसिबल कि मैं जाके ये चेक करूं? क्योंकि पोर्टल पे तो मुझे सिर्फ स्टेटस मालूम पड़ेगा अपने सप्लायर का. Whether I will be able to know that what is the credential of my supplier, whether the business activities is being done by my supplier or not, whether my supplier has taken registration in a legitimate way. So department alleging many non-compliances on the part of supplier. So how this buyer going to cross-check and verify? First part. Second part, I have done my transaction long time back, July 18. If department initiate any action in 22-23 against the defaulting supplier, and on that premise they found that supplier is non-existent or supplier is not tax compliant, and thereby they cancel the registration of supplier with retrospective date. What is the fault of buyer, purchasing dealer, for the transaction done in July 18 when both were active number? Supplier was tax compliant. He was filing 1, 3B, all matching with 2A, 2B, everything. Just because in 22-23 department initiate action and some default on the part of supplier, and department alleged that credit taken sometime in July 18 is not available to the purchasing dealer, is not going with the logo, with the term ease of business. Credit is being denied to the genuine and honest buyer. In this AP High Court judgment which I am referring to, goods and conveyance got detained and confiscated just on one pretext, that supplier was not existent at the given address. Department has not given any opportunity to this purchasing dealer to prove bona fide purchase because goods were covered by taxable invoice and proper eBay bill. So Honorable AP High Court has held and given order provisional release of goods. Of course, liberty was given to the department to initiate action against the consignor under section 129 of CGST Act. Against the consignor. So against the defaulting supplier. Theme is very clear. If department comes across, डिपार्टमेंट को मालूम पड़ता है कि डिफॉल्ट अगर सप्लायर कर रहा है, आप सप्लायर के अगेंस्ट में एक्शन लीजिए ना. आप बायर की क्रेडिट को मना कर देते हैं and you're not taking any action against the defaulting supplier. One more case I can add further. Maybe in the supply chain, my immediate supplier is fully tax compliant, but preceding layer of supply chain, there may be L1, L2, and they are not tax compliant. They have taken fake registration. They have only raised the invoices, filed one but did not pay the taxes to 3B, and that credit is flowing in the supply chain. But my immediate supplier, the fifth position supplier, and you happen to be the recipient and buyer at the sixth position, you can only look at the transaction pertaining to your immediate supplier on GST portal. उसके beyond, उसके पीछे जाके तो आप देख ही नहीं सकते. And there was no two-way until January 2019. How this buyer and recipient, even I can tell you, even department was not aware of that there's some fake guy in the supply chain, L1, who has taken the fake registration, only raised the invoices, filed one, did not pay the taxes to 3B. जब तक 2A नहीं आया था, until this 2A came into the picture, even department was not aware of. So there is lacuna within the system for ITC matching and mismatching. Why all the burden is being casted only on buyer, recipient, purchasing dealer? AP High Court has rightly said, you have not given any opportunity to the purchasing dealer to prove his bona fide purchase, because goods detained were covered by taxable invoice and eBay bill. So no confiscation under section 130. Provisional release, and if at all you want to take action, initiate action under section 129. That too against supplier, who is a consignor. Good judgment. SLP was filed against this AP High Court judgment in Honorable Supreme Court. Of course, there was no discussion on merit, but this SLP got dismissed by Honorable Supreme Court because Honorable Supreme Court was not inclined to interfere with the judgment of AP High Court. So, crux of the judgment is, once again, if department want to initiate any action, they must take against the consignor, defaulting supplier. They should not go and ask the buyer, recipient to reverse credit, detain goods or convince. Not logically correct. And for non-existent, for registration cancelled with retrospective date, many judgment coming from different high court, for which we have created separate video. Honorable Calcutta High Court in the case of LGW Industries Limited, Sanchita Kundu, Gargo Traders, Odisha High Court Bright Star Plastic Industries Limited, and this SLP, which is filed by Revenue, got dismissed by Honorable Supreme Court, having the silver lining. Department should initiate action against the defaulting supplier. Recipient who has to prove bona fide purchase, he has got his own limitation. He can't go back. Doctrine of impossibility about the credential business activities of supplier. Buyer can't check the status of supplier, how he has taken the registration. Was there any fake document? It is beyond the permissible capacity of the recipient, doctrine of impossibility. So this judgment is important from Honorable Supreme Court. Of course, nothing on merit, but merit whatever discussed in AP High Court, which is being held by AP High Court by way of dismissal of SLP by Honorable Supreme Court, the position, the order which is being passed by Honorable AP High Court held good and worth noticing for all of us together. Stay tuned. Lot many video. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.